It is Rock Night on The Masked Singer as Group B performs as a group one last time. Two people are for sure going home tonight. There are no more saves, so only one of these contestants will move forward to the finals. Let's talk about The Masked Singer. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It, and welcome to my Masked Singer recap and reaction video. We are just a couple of weeks away from the season 10 finale. Next week, we will have Group C singing for the final time. One of them will move forward, and then in the 2-hour finale, we will have two singers from Group A because they use the Ding Dong Keep It On bell to save one of the contestants last week. So we will have the cow and the gazelle moving forward there, and then one person moves forward tonight. One person will move forward next week as we gear up for the season 10 finale. But before we launch into any of that, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do the Masked Singer recap and reaction videos every single week that there is a new Masked Singer episode. No word yet, as far as I'm aware, on when we can expect season 11. I know we're going to have this new game show with Anthony Anderson and his mother at the beginning of next year where they're guessing celebrity relatives or something by the celebrity relative is going to sing, and then they're supposed to guess who the celebrity is. It's another pretty stupid concept, but it'll probably be kind of fun to watch. But so that will air in January, and I don't know when Masked Singer is coming back, so we'll have to keep you posted on that. But for tonight, Rock Night, it was the Tiki, the Husky, and the Sea Queen. As of now, I know one of the contestants that is going home, but I've paused the show there because we're going to do the Take It Off, and then we will go back to the Battle Royale for the other two. However, because it's Rock Night, I do have a guess for which contestant will move on to the final. It seems a little bit stacked in this person's favor, to be honest, because it is Rock Night, and the other two singers, I think, are more R&B related. But let's start with the Tiki. This is the rock singer that I think will be moving forward come the end of the show, but we will see. First of all, the episode started with I Wanna Rock, the Twisted Sister classic, which I thought they were going to bring Dee Snider out. Dee Snider is a former Masked Singer contestant. I think that was that just last season, or was that season 8? It was fairly recent, I think. But I don't know, he wasn't available or whatever, didn't want to do it. But they still played the song and had everybody sort of, the judges in their dressing room doing their, frizzy hair or whatever the costume was for tonight. So the Tiki was first, and he says, Rock Night is my jam. When I was a kid, my buddy asked me to join choir, and if I got in, I would get $3 every month. Which to me meant 2 more Kiss posters. We see a cowboy hat at that point. He says, my super high-pitched voice got me lead soprano. We see an alien at that point. And then he said, I hit the road at 8 with churches and kept touring the rest of my life. And he actually did do a Kiss song for his performance. I Was Made for Loving You. And then we did have... Okay, so Dee Snider wasn't there, but then a rock legend did come out, or at least the daughter of a rock legend. Kelly Osbourne came out to give some of the post-song clues. She, of course, was in season 2 as the Ladybug, and her clue that she gave out was Japan. And like last week, the post-song clue has something to do with a connection between the singer and one of the panelists, or Nick, in one case as well. So Japan was the clue, and he said, I had the greatest time in Japan years ago, and I ran into Nicole. So Nicole said that she did a performance with the Pussycat Dolls in Japan at some big festival show, and she rattled off a couple people that were there, including Alice in Chains. But she also said Sebastian Bach from Skid Row was part of that lineup. So... or I don't know if he was performing or just backstage or whatever, but she said Kiss was there as well. So if this guy is a big Kiss fan, maybe Sebastian Bach is under the mask. Robin thought it could be Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction. And Adam Lambert was mentioned as well by Jenny. And a few of you in the comments on my channel have said Adam Lambert as well. And I should mention, I didn't say this at the top of the video, but please do comment with your thoughts on who is under these masks. It certainly helps me shape what direction I'm going in. And this is one where I was definitely leaning somewhere else. In fact, the first time that the Tiki performed, I thought maybe it was Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees, which now seems like a kind of silly guess. Certainly if this person as a kid was listening to Kiss, Mickey Dolenz when Kiss came out would have been in his 30s at least already. So obviously, it's not him for many reasons, but some of these clues I can't quite piece together. Although the alien clue, there was a Skid Row album, or maybe it was just an EP called Subhuman Race. So I don't know. You could maybe say that that's aliens. But other than that, look, he's done some acting gigs. They haven't really focused on, their biggest hits as Skid Row, which was 18 in Life, I Remember You, Youth Gone Wild was a big one. And numbers are so big on this show. I'm surprised we haven't seen an 18 somewhere here if this is Sebastian Bach. But look, you guys in the comments over the last few weeks have put me in mind of Sebastian Bach, and I do think vocally it makes sense. He does have a very high falsetto that he's been putting on display. And look, if I'm a betting man, I think the Tiki is going to be the one that goes through to the finals, because in part it's Rock Night, and he's really the only rocker in the bunch. So all right, we will come back to him though during the battle royale portion. But the Husky is next, and the Husky is the one going home first. So I'm going to read you all of his clues and everything, and then we'll go to the Take It Off, and then I'll watch the rest and come back with the Sea Queen. But the Husky, we see a clock that says it's like a alarm clock, analog, not digital, that says it's pointing to 1 o'clock, and instead of a 1, there's a heart there. He says, the loss of my parents passing away within a year of each other hit me very hard. We see a basketball on like I don't know if it was a bandana or what it was. He said, my heart was twisted. I was, trying to shield my kids from having, a similar reaction, and kind of, shielding them from that pain. And then he sings Bon Jovi's classic, Always, a good ballad. And Wild is the clue after the fact, and there was like flames around it, and he said, it's nice to be sharing the stage with Nick again, it's wild. So of course, Wild and Out was the big Nick Cannon show for many years, and so we have some clues from that show, people that have guessed it, and there's been many over the years. DJ D-Rec is who Ken said, and I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Wild and Out, so I have no idea who that is, but apparently he's a longtime DJ on the show. I mean, listen, that would be kind of fun if somebody that close to, Nick or one of the panelists was on. It's kind of like how Brian Austin Green was, Robin Thicke's neighbor, and he did the show years ago. But, look, I don't know. The general population, do they know who DJ D-Rec is? I certainly didn't. Robin said Genuine, which he said the last time Group B performed as well. And Jenny stuck with her original guess of Brian McKnight. And look, since this is the person getting unmasked first, we're going to go to the final guesses for the Husky. Nicole and Robin both went with Genuine on this one. Nicole put together a few of the clues for some of his music. As for the new clues, I don't know much about him in terms of basketball or anything. I assume he was on Wild and Out. That makes sense. The timeline matches up. But the 1 o'clock with a heart, the only thing I can really think of is Genuine does have an album called 100% Genuine. So that could be like the one for that. But Jenny's going with the Brian McKnight thing because the Back at One, that was obviously one of his big hits. And he did do The Masked Dancer, but he has yet to be on this show. Ken changed his guess in the final guess to Little Romeo, who has also, of course, been on Wild and Out. All of those sort of R&B guys from like the mid to late 2000s, I think, have probably appeared on Wild and Out at some point. And then Jenny stuck with Brian McKnight. Look, I've been saying Genuine since week one. This is one of my initial first impression guesses. The merry-go-round with the ponies on it was my first sort of giveaway on that. Of course, his biggest hit from the Magic Mike series is called Pony. So I have never wavered from this. And even in the comments, you guys supported me on it. I think this is Genuine. And if it is, that'll be a good first impression guess for me. Sometimes I only get them when I switch off of who I was originally thinking. But let's go to the Take It Off. I think this is Genuine. Let's see. I'm not sure if I'll know what he looks like at this point, but let's see. It's got to be Genuine, right? Yeah. Genuine. Grammy nominated. A multi-platinum singer. He's for sure been on Wild and Out. I'm sure of that. Genuine. His song Pony, obviously so huge, and then made a comeback with the Magic Mike series. But he's had a lot of R&B hits over the years, certainly. I don't know a ton of them, to be honest, but look, it makes sense that he would be the first one cast off on Rock Night. So I will watch the rest of this. The Battle Royale will be between Tiki and Sequeen. My guess right now would be that Tiki is sticking around, like I said, and that Sequeen will be going home. But we'll get to that in just a second here. Well, I am actually happy to be wrong because it looks like the Tiki is going home, going to be unmasked. But I have to say, after the Battle Royale, I sort of reversed my my mindset on that because Sequeen did amazing. So what happened after the break was they brought Bret Michaels out to sing Nothing But a Good Time. And, of course, he was season 3 contestant with the banana costume. And there was one that nobody was with me on, but I had a first impression guess of Bret Michaels. A lot of people were getting, like, what's the redneck tour, the blue collar comedy tour. Like they were getting Foxworthy vibes or Ron White or something like that, because they were talking about like, a party bus kind of thing. And I don't know. Bret Michaels is from my area, from central Pennsylvania. So I knew Bret Michaels from the start, and I was very proud of that one. So I'm glad they brought him back. He always kills it. And he did Nothing But a Good Time for us from, of course, his band Poison back in the day. And that is the song that Tiki and Sequeen then went back and forth on. And Tiki did a fine job. I think we would expect that from the rock legend that is going to be under this mask. But the Sequeen surprised the heck out of me. She did a great performance there. So let's talk about the Sequeen for a second before we go to the unmasking, because we have not mentioned her really yet. But so she said, and this makes sense maybe with why she did so well at the Poison song. She said, "I was in a hard rock band once upon a time." And then we see a barbershop poll. She said, "I co-starred with Denzel once. I've worked with Tyler Perry." And then the song she did at the time was Mr. Big, To Be With You. That's another great rock ballad from the early 90s, much like Always by Bon Jovi. And the Kelly Osbourne clue, she came back out, and the clue was co-star. And she said, "I have shared the screen with Ken." So that is her connection. And we had some guesses from the panel, including Queen Latifah. Ken has been on that one for a while. Niecy Nash was mentioned by Nicole because, of course, she shared the stage with all of them when she covered for Nick when he had COVID a few seasons ago, which, personally, look, I thought she did an amazing job. I would love to have seen her continue. I'm not the biggest Nick Cannon fan, but she said vocally seems to her like it could be Macy Gray. And I think... was Macy Gray mentioned before? I don't think so, right? Yeah, because the Sequeen only performed once, because she was the wild card of Group B. And so I went with Jennifer Lewis originally, which is who Nicole went with. But Viola Davis was mentioned as well by Robin, but he reversed course and said, no, that definitely sounds like Macy Gray. So for Sequeen, I'm with you guys. After I said Jennifer Lewis in the comments, almost everybody said, hey, Dim Bulb, it's Macy Gray. And she just, she's not on my radar. I've not thought about Macy Gray in a long time, but she certainly, has done things with Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry. She was in Training Day, and she was in Four Colored Girls with Tyler Perry, and she shared the screen with Ken as a guest judge or whatever, or panelist on his horrible show I Can See Your Voice, also on Fox. So yeah, I mean, I think for sure this is Macy Gray. I mean, and this time I was really listening to the voice, and there was no two ways about it. I mean, she really that's Macy Gray, all right. So I'm definitely with that. She's done a lot of acting, really. I mean, she was on Ally McBeal for a couple of episodes back in the day, and she was in one of the Scary Movies, which I don't think it was one of the ones Ken was in, but she wasn't. I think it was Scary Movie 3 she was in. So she's done some acting, but yeah, boy, she really killed it on the Battle Royale. So I am happy to say that she is moving forward, and we're going to unmask the Tiki. So the final guesses from the panel on the Tiki, Robin, kind of, what they said all the first time around. Robin, or Ken was first. He said John Bon Jovi, which is such a ridiculous guess for this person's voice. But John Bon Jovi is obviously an amazing rocker. I've seen them live at least twice. Actually 3 times, I think it was. But look, they always are great, but that's not his register. He doesn't usually hit those like really high notes that Sebastian Bach and some others do, including Jenny's guest, Adam Lambert. He hits a lot of really high notes, gets that falsetto going. He's been singing for Queen for many years. And then Robin stuck with his Perry Farrell guess, and Nicole went with Sebastian Bach. I think you guys turned me on to this after my initial guess of Mickey Dolenz. No, this was Sebastian Bach. Y'all said I don't know, thought other than the monkey business clue, there would have been more Skid Row clues, and less, I don't know, acting clues or whatever for him. But I do believe this is Sebastian Bach. Skid Row is a band I've never seen live. I actually was going to see them live in 2021. I believe it was, but Sebastian Bach is no longer with them, so it was going to be with some other singer. But it would have been a fun show. It was them, Lita Ford, and Winger, and I think Quiet Riot maybe was there too. So a very 80s hair metal type of bill. But yeah, no, I think this is Sebastian Bach under this mask. So let's have a look. Let's do the take it off. They were having some trouble getting it off, but yeah, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Nicole knew it. She said that she didn't really figure it out until the Japan clue, though, of who she met in Japan. So let's hear what he has to say for a second. I am surprised he went home on Rocket Night, but Sea Queen killed that Battle Royale for sure.
You've rocked so many stages. Why the Masked Singer stage?
Well, your show's been on for 10 seasons, which is a long time.
A lot of rockers have been on this. Like I mentioned, Dee Snider and Bret Michaels already.
Which I love.
Yes! I am just so over the moon right now because I've been a massive fan of yours. Yes, you're a rock god, you're a legend, but you're a brilliant vocalist. You can do anything.
Yeah, he's got a great range for sure. And yeah, I mean, I'm a big Skid Row fan from back in the day. I was in 6th grade probably when their first album came out. So anyway, and fun fact about Skid Row, their second album, Slave to the Grind, I don't know if it debuted at number 1, but it went to number 1 on the Billboard chart, and it was the first week that Billboard was doing the Nielsen SoundScan thing, where instead of record stores just telling Billboard, here's what albums sold, they actually had the electronic component to say, oh no, this is the album that actually sold the most this week, and Skid Row Slave to the Grind was number 1. So little trivia note for you about Sebastian Bach. But all right, so that will do it. Sea Queen moves on to the finals in a couple of weeks, and I do think it's Macy Gray. So next week we will have the remaining contestants of Group C. One of them will move forward, and then we will have the finale for Season 10, and I'll be with you all the way. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.